Hey everybody, how's it going? Thanks for joining me again in another DocuSign topic video. This is going to be on how we send documents out from DocuSign. So if you've seen any of the previous videos, you'll understand how you can add documents in, but then how do we send them? Quite simple. We're going to go into the envelopes here. So we have a tab here called envelopes. And we're going to go ahead and click the button that says new. And here is the envelope detailed menu. So I'm going to go ahead, we're going to put a name in here. We'll call this 123 Tice Boulevard Buyer Docs. And then what we need to do is add the documents into the envelope. Quite simply, we'll hit that Room Docs button, and we will select a couple of these documents as examples. We'll hit Add Selected. You'll notice that I can also drag and drop the order of these documents if I wanted to. The next step for me to do is add recipients to this envelope. So this is basically saying, who am I sending this to? So I can click where it says Add Recipient. You'll notice that there's 3 different options currently: pre-tag roles, room participants, and email. Now, if I choose pre-tag roles, that's going to allow me to have the roles mapped to the forms and essentially auto-populate the signature fields for me. And this also applies to documents that require a specific person to do a specific thing. So if you're working with a seller disclosure as an example, pre-tag roles will fill out all those fields for the seller to sign and fill. So let's do that. And we're just going to go ahead and select here the buyer. And buyer number 1 are exactly the same. It's just the way that the form is mapped currently. So we'll go ahead and choose Paul Rudd as the buyer. And I'm actually going to change this to my email because I'm going to send the sample copies to myself so you can see what they look like. All right, we're going to go ahead and hit next. And you can also put in some additional details here if you want to have a new subject line or an email message. Let's go to next. And you'll notice when the form loads in, before I prepare it to send, I can see that all the signature boxes are now added into the forms. So I didn't have to drag and drop anything in. This is all auto-populated. Additionally, you can also add other fields here if you needed to, but otherwise, this is all set. We're going to go ahead and hit send, and then that's going to send those documents away to be signed. You'll notice now that it gives me a waiting for others message, letting me know that those documents are waiting to be signed. So I will check my email, and we're going to go ahead and review these documents. And from a customer point of view, this is what they see. They will sign off, and they will get that message again, basically saying if they wanted to create an account, they can hit no thanks, and they are done with that one. There's also an additional form that they had to sign, so they will go back in, repeat that process again, hit sign, and they are all set. We'll hit finish on that as well, and then those forms are now signed. This will change to a green box after that is all signed, in which case you will have the signed documents back in the room. Let's see if we can get it to do it. It might take a second, but basically what's going to happen is you'll see here now in my room, I now have signed copies and they are labeled as green. So that is how you send and get signatures for your documents in DocuSign. Thanks for joining me.